If you're like me, you're always on the lookout for the perfect pair of shoes to go with every outfit. Mohop shoes, handmade from sustainably harvested wood, do just that. I visited designer Annie Mohaupt in her Chicago atelier to see firsthand how the shoes are made.
What was the inspiration behind you creating these very innovative shoes?
Well, I was an architect and spending a lot of time at the computer, and I just really felt the need to work with my hands. So one day I just decided I'd try and make shoes. It ended up being an extraordinary amount of work. I was working in my basement at the time, like every day after work, like a mad scientist, trying, different shapes and bending wood and cutting it out. And eventually I did come across like working shoes. So that was kind of the inspiration. I started selling them at street fairs, and I decided to myself, well, if they sell well at street fairs, then I will start a business of it. And as soon as I set them out, there was a line out the door, and I was like, woohoo! Yeah, I have a business.
It's a winner.
This was my original style. It's based on actually the idea of a skateboard, which is made out of bent plywood. My husband and I just thought it would be fun to make skateboards, and that was kind of my first experience with working with woodworking tools myself. So we just made skateboards and kind of tooled around San Francisco with them. And so when I thought about making shoes, the first thing that came to my mind was a skateboard, because it's made out of plywood, and I thought, well, plywood is a great material to use. It's easy, it provides a lot of shock absorption as you walk, so that was just what I started doing. Plus, luckily, when I started making the shoes, my husband's and my house was under construction, so we had like a little wood shop in the basement.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah. So I was just like, well, I'll just play around with the tools and stuff. So it was fun. It was a lot of work, but I really enjoyed coming up with it. And also was kind of inspired by Charles and Ray Eames, who did a lot of work, they're architects, did a lot of work with bent plywood in the 50s. So I was just really intrigued by kind of the shapes that could be made with wood. And so I bent the wood and attached a heel, and the story behind these loops is, to be honest, when I started making shoes, I had no background in shoemaking at all, and I was like, well, how can I make the uppers without having real shoemaking equipment? And so I was trying to think of a way that the customers maybe could make the shoes themselves and design them. And once I started that, I was like, wow, this works great. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's great for travel because you can, bring one pair of shoes with, they're really lightweight, and then just change out the ribbons, change your shoes every day. And I found that the wood was really comfortable, especially with this rubber on the bottom. This is recycled rubber from tires.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's 100% recycled.
That's beautiful. Great. And I'm sure it's comfortable. If it's good enough for tires, I'm sure it's good enough to walk around in your shoes. Yeah.
And the wood on these shoes is actually finished birch. It's made all of finished birch plywood. Is actually raised on family farms in Finland. So it's very eco-friendly, very sustainable. And then the top has different kinds of veneers, and sometimes I put padding on them, kind of depending on the style.
You said bent plywood?
Yeah. So I bend the plywood on these.
Interesting.
And then cut them out.
How do you bend plywood?
Well, it's actually kind of a simple process. It requires different layers of wood, which I glue together and stick in the mold. And I can demonstrate that for you, actually.
Cool, I'd love to see it.
First, Annie had to show me her extensive collection of power tools.
Woohoo! I love new tools.
Then it was time to make some shoes. She laid out her eco-friendly materials.
So this is the plywood?
This is the plywood, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's 1/8" birch. And I glue all the parts together and stick it in my mold. The cross grain makes them really strong. Yeah, that's why skateboards, you see, kids really pounding on them.
Yeah.
So, and that's because you have all this kind of interwoven wood, which keeps them really strong. So, and that was kind of the principle I used behind the shoes, which keeps these really delicate. So I take all these, take all the wood and put it in the molds.
Okay.
Clamp down the molds overnight. And, these are heavy. This gives me a workout.
Okay.
And then you just pull it out of the mold, peel off the paper. It just glues into place overnight.
Wow. So there's a shoe in there somewhere, right?
Exactly. Once I get it out of the mold, I have this sheet that I can fit 3 pairs of shoes across. And I determine, basically I usually make these to order. So whatever my order is for, we have an 8 high here. I place it on the sheet, and I know exactly through experience where on the sheet is the most comfortable, because we want the ball of the foot location to be comfortable and where the heel is. So we have our pattern, and then it's ready to cut out.
Then she smooths down the edges with a little sanding.
Stand away.
It's starting to look like a shoe. Wow, I can't believe it. It's like so perfect. And it's so strong.
Yeah, it's definitely strong. It's going to support
cement.
everyone's weight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have all sorts of different types of people wearing shoes, so it's really important that these are sturdy and last forever, actually. This is something that I want people to be able to wear for years and years.
Wow, with this kind of strength, I think they'll be able to.
Okay, and then we just dust it off, put some sealer on it, environmentally friendly of course, attach a heel and little side loops, and then we have the shoe.
If all shoes were made like this,
Yeah.
you'd never have to buy another pair of shoes. Because they'd never fall apart. You know?
Yeah, they should hold up forever. And I have done plenty of running for the train in these.
Really?
Like these, yeah,
In these?
Yeah, oh yeah, these are great running shoes.
Annie's other line of shoes, the Wedge Platform Sandal, is also a bestseller.
This is made out of walnut, sustainably sourced from actually managed forests in Potter County, Pennsylvania. It's another family-run business. And basically, I order the wood, and they go out in the woods and chop down a tree. But it's all, more trees are actually planted than are cut down, so it's very sustainable. This is actually not real suede. It's a very high-end faux suede that's made out of nylon, made in the US. It's like this crazy space-age fabric, so it wears really well. It actually wears better than real suede or real leather.
Great.
So,
and no animals have to be harmed.
no animals at all. There's no animals, no animal matter in the glue or anything, so they're totally vegan. These are the newest shoes. These are made out of maple with something blue, and so this is a great bridal shoe. As soon as I put it on my website, I already had many inquiries from brides like
Because they're probably comfortable when you're walking down the aisle or whatever.
They are.
But they're high, so you've got the height that you want.
Yeah, they're 4 inches high,
Wow.
but there's a platform base, so they're really more like 3 inches. And then they have arch support and padding, so they're really comfortable.
Annie's shoemaking process for the Wedge Sandals is similar to the bent ply. She starts with a block of wood, draws the shape, and cuts and sands to perfection.
It's so rewarding to just kind of design something and then make it. I feel kind of bad for a lot of shoe designers who design something and then they, send sketches to Italy, and then it's 3 months before they see, the sample back. So for me, I love that, immediate gratification of, having my own shop.
From design to your
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah, exactly. It is really fun to just kind of experiment and see what happens and just draw a sketch and cut things out. And sometimes it turns out differently, and sometimes it's like a great surprise. Like, oh, I didn't even realize that would happen. So sometimes the surprise is fun. More often it's not.
Right.
But, it gives me another idea. It's all part of the kind of invention process.
Yeah.
So.
And the invention process continues when it's time to try them on.
The basic way to lace them up is just like a tennis shoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just back and forth. However you'd like to wear them, there's a bunch of loops, so like every loop gives you a different permutation and way to wear it. And you want to tighten them from the toes back. And as long as your toes are in there securely, all is good.
Okay. This gives me incentive to want to go polish my toes now.
What I did with these, you can see that the toe goes up a little bit, so that kind of redistributes your weight a little bit.
Right, so you're kind of sitting,
Yeah.
feel like you're flat versus heading down.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So you have a lot more of your weight evenly distributed on your heel, but there's also support down the whole length of your foot. So you're getting support in your midfoot, on the ball of your foot, everywhere.
Oh, they're so comfortable. Yeah, I definitely feel like my entire foot is supported.
And best of all, each set of shoes comes with 5 free pairs of ribbon and a guide on dozens of different ways to tie them. So it's true what they say. With Mohop, you can wear a new pair of shoes every day. This episode of Conscious Living is carbon-free in partnership with carbonfund.org.